This video captures a powerful and intense moment where tough decisions and real-life consequences take center stage. Two individuals are brought forward after failing to follow important rules they had previously agreed to, and now they must face the results of their actions. The atmosphere is serious, with no room for excuses, as each person is confronted with the reality of the choices they've made. In the first situation, a young man admits to making a mistake that could cost him his freedom. He is given a difficult choice: either commit to a strict and demanding path to improve himself or face years behind bars. The pressure is high, and the decision he makes could shape his entire future. It becomes a moment of truth where he must decide whether to take responsibility and change or accept a harsh punishment. In the second situation, a woman's violation is more severe, involving actions that broke trust and safety measures. Unlike the first case, her outcome is immediate and final. She is given a prison sentence, showing that some actions come with consequences that cannot be undone or negotiated. Overall, the video highlights how quickly situations can change when rules are broken. It sends a strong message about responsibility, discipline, and the importance of making better choices before it's too late.
Tears, because we're here on a motion to revoke, because the state is alleging that there are some actions that you did that were a violation of your conditions. Do you understand? All right. So are you the same Joshua Jacob Cannon who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 2570B for the offense of aggravated robbery on June 12, 2023 for a period of 10 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. And we're proceeding with number 2, that is the second to last number 2.
Okay.
There's a violation of condition number 2 on or about the 16th day of August 2024. Bear County, Texas, the defendant Joshua Jacob Cannon, and then in there commit to the illegal use of controlled substance, namely marijuana, violation of number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Waiver of any violated condition.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you to life in prison?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand if you have some sort of an agreement that you've worked out with the state, I don't have to follow that. Once you've pled true, I can sentence you to life in prison. Do you understand that?
I understand.
Knowing that, you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes.
Court is finding violation of condition number 2 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Your Honor. It is denied a motion to adjudicate, continue the individual on the deferred with the amendments to add MRT course and intensive outpatient treatment.
All right. Is that the proposed agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
All right. Let me ask you something. Do you want to go to prison?
Okay.
Then why are you doing this?
Bad decisions.
No, I mean, here's the thing. You have decisions that you have to make. And on the one hand, your decision is, do I want to do this? If I do this and I'm caught, I could look at life in prison. And then what ends up happening is your attorney has and this is where I've been a defense attorney before. This is where the attorneys are throwing themselves on the mercy of the court, saying, please let this judge follow our agreement, even though I don't have to do it. So when you're making decisions and knowing you could go to prison, and you're still choosing to do this nonsense.
I've been going to NA meetings. I've been going there for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to.
Well, but see, here's the thing. You've been on probation since 2023, and you only have two weeks. What have you been doing with your life? Do you have employment?
Yes.
What do you do?
I work for North Country Waste Solutions. I've worked 60 hours every week.
Mm-hmm. But you find time to do this. So, I mean, I will tell you, and your attorney will tell you, and Mr. Garhan will tell you. How old are you?
20.
You're 20. Do you know how many 20-year-olds are at the prison? A lot. And if you don't want to get your life in order, you know what's going to end up happening? You're going to be at the prison. I will still remember you because I remember all the people who come through here. But you know what everybody's going to say? Oh, well. And this is what I can tell you about the government. The government may not have money to build state hospitals, but they will always find money for the prisons. And whether or not there's supposed to be 5 people in the cell or 2 people in the cell, they will put 5 people in that cell. They will put 6 people in that cell because they're not going to let you just be out here and say, oh, well, you know, it's overcrowded, so we don't have another jail, so we'll just let him be out here. That's not the way it works. And he can tell you that's not the way it works. And if you're drug tested today, are you going to be positive? You need to tell the truth and shame the devil. What are you going to be positive for?
Marijuana.
So here's the thing. I know people say marijuana is not a big thing, but when you're on probation, guess what? And your attorney will tell you this. You're not even allowed to drink alcohol in your house.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're not even allowed to smoke marijuana in your house. If you do, you know what that's telling me? You want to go to prison. So I'm going to give you a decision. And what I can tell you is, you know yourself better than your attorney does, better than I do, better than probation, better than the state does. So I want you to look deep inside yourself and discover and realize whether or not you can complete this probation or not, because you signed up for probation to be on probation for 10 years. So that's 2033. If you cannot complete this probation and you know you cannot complete this probation, just let us know. I will sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Otherwise, I will follow this agreement that you've reached. They're going to give you UAs and they're going to test for levels. If those levels go up, that signifies that you're using, and a motion to revoke is going to be filed, and we're going to be right back here. So those are your only 2 choices. I'll give you the MRT, the intensive outpatient treatment. I'm going to make you do NA meetings, and they're going to test for levels, or you can call it a day, and I'll sentence you to 5 years in the prison. Which do you prefer?
TR meetings.
All right. Have you had a time to internalize that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Because I will tell you, the state will tell you, I've sent 20-year-olds to prison before.
And Judge, I know you're out not doing that. I mean, he takes full responsibility, Judge.
All right, probation. I'll deny the and I'm sorry, probation. Are you recommending this as well?
Yes, Judge.
All right. The court will deny the motion, alternate amending conditions to include the MRT, IOP, and I'm going to want UAs, test him for levels. And he's going to do sober support meetings. In 30 days. And your levels should start going down. Do you understand? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
Judge Austin, do you want me to put that as way?
How often are you, because it's marijuana in his system?
Every 2 weeks, Judge.
All right. So there's going to be UA every 2 weeks until he presents with a negative UA. Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. Everything that you do from here on out, I'm going to help you with your decision making. If your actions could result in you being revoked and going to prison, you shouldn't do it. If your actions are like, maybe this is something I can get revoked for, maybe not, you shouldn't do it. Do you understand? Because otherwise, you're going to be at the prison. And either you are, first, a motion to revoke will be filed. Either you're going to make bond or you're not. If you don't make bond, we'll bring you over dressed in orange. We'll hear it. And either you're going to get revoked or not. And either you'll end up in prison or not. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you. ER 7417, State versus Kimberly Nieto. Could I have parties announced?
Rick Pena for the state of Texas.
Ron Ross for responding.
And are you Kimberly Nieto?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Kimberly Nieto who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 7417 for the offense of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon on September 19th, 2022 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
State under violation condition number 41. On or about the 21st day of July 2025 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Kimberly Nieto, the defendant failed to comply with the rules and regulations, the work release GPS program, and that the defendant was removed due to a tampering event in violation of condition number 40.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State will waive the other violation.
Any objections?
No objection, Judge.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition 41, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 41?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition 41 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
There is, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor, there is. That is to revoke the defendant's probation, adjudicator guilty and sentenced her to 4 years TC.
Is that correct, counsel?
That is agreement.
All right, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
You're not gonna try to complain about it tomorrow. Appeal.
No, ma'am, I'm not gonna complain.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
All right, the court will grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you to 4 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. There's to be no contact with Gabriel Serda, that's SERDA. And the court will request the therapeutic community to address any mental health issues. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because you reached a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're going to have to make better changes in your life. And when you are released, you are still not allowed to have any contact with that person. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
One more thing, Judge.
Yes.
You're giving her credit for time served. Would the court consider giving her credit? She went to ISP also, and I don't know if that's part of the automatic
So she was in a lockdown facility.
for 6 months.
State, was that successfully completed?
Yes, Judge.
All right,
She did CDRF 119 days, and she also did ISF. That was 19 days.
all right. Well, legally, I have to give her credit for that, so I will.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
As the video comes to a close, it leaves a deep and lasting impression about the true weight of our choices. What may feel like a small mistake in the moment can quickly grow into something far more serious, changing the course of a person's life. Throughout the video, we see two very different outcomes. One individual is given a final opportunity to reflect, rebuild, and prove they can take a better path, while the other faces an immediate and irreversible consequence. It highlights how important it is to take responsibility before things go too far. Small decisions, repeated over time, can either build a better future or slowly lead toward failure. Discipline, honesty, and commitment are not just expectations, they are essential if someone wants to move forward and avoid serious setbacks. The contrast between these two situations makes it clear that while second chances do exist, they are rare and often come with strict conditions. Not everyone is given the same opportunity twice. This ending also serves as a reality check for anyone watching. Life doesn't always offer endless chances, and sometimes one mistake is enough to close certain doors forever. It reminds us that change is possible, but only if a person is willing to truly take responsibility for their actions and make consistent efforts to improve. In the end, the message is simple yet powerful: your actions today define your tomorrow. Choose wisely, stay focused, and never underestimate how quickly things can change when the wrong decisions are made.